Welcome back to the Michael Nance audio experience. I'm your host, Michael. With the Super Bowl just 2 days away, I wanted to break down the biggest sports betting game of the year and what it all means for someone who may not be a gambler. Now, this is not in any way encouraging someone to bet on the game or the outcome of the game, but rather teaching you how to read a line and really understand who is favored to win a game. Hopefully, this is something useful for you and hope you enjoy. The betting odds for the Super Bowl have been released, and they are as follows. So the spread is the Eagles minus 1.5. The over-under is 51 points, and the money line is Eagles minus 125, Chiefs plus 105. And here is what this all means and how to break it down. So a betting line refers to the odds that a sportsbook lists for a wager. All available betting options will have lines. By understanding the lines and what they're telling you, you'll be better equipped to make better betting decisions. For those new to sports betting, learning how to read the lines is a critical first step. Once you have the basics down, there are even more takeaways that you can go to understand by having a full comprehension and understanding of the numbers and what they're telling you. Now, how do you read a sports betting line? Well, an online sportsbook will display betting odds for upcoming games and events. The main bets for NFL lines are spreads, totals, and money lines, like I read earlier. So on the spread, the team with the negative line is the favorite, and the team with the positive line indicates the underdog. So in the case of this year's Super Bowl, the Eagles are a 1.5 point favorite. For the total in this game, you could bet on over or under 51 points. And that is a combined score total from both teams at the end of the game. You can also identify favorites and underdogs by looking at what's called the money line. Once again, it's negative numbers for the favorite and positive numbers for the underdog. In this game, Philadelphia is minus 125 and Kansas City is plus 105. A betting line refers to the odds that a sportsbook lists for a wager. So in this example, you have to bet $125 to win $100 on the Eagles, that is. And then with the Chiefs, if you bet $100, you win $105. Now, note that while the lines from the example above are from Caesars Sportsbook, the bets may be in a different order at other online sportsbooks, but the numbers all mean the same thing. In summary, when reading the odds for a pair of choices, the negative value is always the favored side. Now, there is a case where both numbers could be negative. Then it's the greater negative number of the two values that is the favorite. When it comes to bets with multiple options, the one with the lowest positive odds is the favorite. But the differences in some of the numbers can be very slight. Another question is, are all the lines the same at all sportsbooks? And the answer to that is not always. While there is a lot of uniformity in betting odds at first glance, sports books set their own line. There will be some variances at the initial release as a result, and you can continue finding differences right up to kickoff. For you, the bettor, this is actually a good thing as you shop around to find the best odds and lines for any bet that you want to play. Another question is, why do sports betting lines move? And the answer is, after the initial release of the betting odds, the lines won't necessarily stand still. And there are two main reasons for that. And that is the betting action and new information. Betting action refers to how much money is coming in and where is it coming into. And new information obviously means like statuses with the team. But once the lines come up, bettors begin placing money. Generally, bets from well-known bettors or professional players called sharps will have the greatest effect on a line because they do this for a living. They know who's good, who's not. And the sportsbook usually change their lines based on how the experts are gambling. So spreads and totals can adjust by half a point or more, and the odds may move up and down as well. And additionally, sports betting lines are based on the information that we have at hand. After the lines come out, news can break that can impact the perception of a game. Examples can include injury to a key player or a shift in the weather forecast. The Super Bowl lines could change if we find out that Jalen Hurts isn't going to play and it's going to rain indoors at the Super Bowl, for example. Often, though, the lines won't move in exactly the same way from sportsbook to sportsbook, so just be aware. So obviously, now that you've placed your bet, you want to know exactly how to calculate your odds. And there are some different odds calculators out there, but I have a quick and easy formula. So this is a chance to grab a pen and paper or just press the pause button and go grab it. Calculating payouts from sports betting odds. The odds also have a direct relationship to the payouts that you can expect to win back and winning bet. And there are a few ways to calculate just how to make that money. Negative, if you're betting for the favorite, you're going to change the odds number to positive for the purposes of the equation. So it would be 100 divided by your odds. So in the example with the Eagles, it's minus 125. So then you would do 100 divided by 125 times how much money you're putting up. And that is going to tell you your profit. So for example, at the minus 140 and a bet of $50 would look like 100 divided by 140 times 50. And that's $35.71. So positive odds, you'll do the same, but you don't have to change the negative number to positive. So it would be, it's of $120 and a bet of 75. So it's 120 divided by 100 times 75 equals 90. So if you're betting the negative number, it goes in the back part of the division. And if you're betting the positive number, it goes in the front part of your division. Now, what should you look for with sports betting odds? After you understand the basics of reading the odds, it's time to learn what to watch out for. You can use the following quick checklist as a general guideline for while you scan the lines at sports. So number one, what are the numbers telling you in terms of the matchup? Spreads and money lines can tell us how close of a matchup the sports book expects, while totals give us a clue about what the book anticipates for overall scoring. Reviewing these numbers may give you an idea of the game you want to focus on. Is there enough value to justify the risk in the current odds? If you're putting money at risk, then the goal should be to have enough value heading back your way to justify it. Odds dictate expected payout, so you can quickly gauge whether a bet is worth it, at least as far as you're concerned. If it's not, you can just pass on that particular wager. How do the lines look for the same bet at other sportsbooks? Again, the lines may be similar across the industry, but they won't always be exactly the same from sportsbook to sportsbook. Line shopping is also a big step you should take, as it helps you to place in the best possible position for your potential return. As you move forward, it helps to gain an even better understanding of what numbers are telling you beyond favorites and underdogs. where you can determine the payouts on winning bets and the implied probability of outcome. So with all that out there, I want to remind you, if you are going to bet, have a game plan. Bet legally, set limits, and keep it fun. And when gambling becomes a problem, or if gambling becomes a problem for you, visit responsibleplay.org to find help. And I want to thank you for listening to the show. Hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like wherever you're listening and leave a rating and download and subscribe. Thank you for your time.